Start filling in your worksheet with the residential property asset. Click on the pre-populated value in the box. This opens up the subcategory items that make up the category total. In this example, subcategory items are a primary residence asset with a pre-filled value of $100,000 and an other residential property subcategory item with a $0 value. For a definition of each subcategory item, either roll the cursor over its name or value, or click the circled question mark on the right. You can either keep the generic name for a subcategory item or personalize it by overwriting your own replacement name. If your household owns its primary residence, just overwrite the pre-filled value with an estimate of your home's own market value. If you don't own, but instead rent your primary residence, enter a 0 in the primary residence box. If you own another residential property, fill in its value. Otherwise, enter 0. If you own still more residential properties, click the Add Another button and fill in their asset value amounts. Don't worry if you mistakenly add a subcategory item. You can remove it by simply clicking the X next to it. Once you've completed filling in your own residential property asset values, click the Save button and your changes will be saved and you will be taken back to the main 80/20 worksheet. If you don't want the changes you've made to be saved, just click the X at the top right to exit this subcategory page. Let's save our changes. Now go to the liability category corresponding to residential property. Click on the pre-filled category total to see the subcategory breakdowns. Any additional properties you added or personalizations you made in the asset section will be carried over to the liability section. If you rent and don't own other residential properties, overwrite zeros for all of the pre-filled values, then click Save. If you are a homeowner, fill in your estimated mortgage and equity loan balances, if any, for each property. When you're done, click Save. Now, click the monthly cash flow value associated with the residential property assets and liabilities. If you rent and don't own other residential properties, enter your monthly rent amount and zero out the other values. If you're a homeowner, fill in your monthly payment amounts for each subcategory item. You don't have to type a negative sign in front of negative monthly cash flow amounts. The worksheet will automatically assign this when calculating subtotals and totals. If you make some payments quarterly, for example, real estate taxes, just divide that quarterly amount by 3 to get the monthly amount. As before, when you're done overwriting your household's values to the cash flow subcategory items, click Save. Now just follow the same process to complete the rest of your worksheet. Don't worry about finding and filling in exact amounts right away. You'll have plenty of time to refine the data over time. The important thing is to start with some data filled in each of your household's asset, liability, and cash flow categories, even if it's rough. After filling in all of your fixed asset, liability, and cash flow amounts, you will see your household's total net worth. This is a measure of your wealth. You will also see your total monthly cash flow associated with these fixed assets and liabilities. Below the monthly total cash flow from fixed assets and liabilities is a line for variable living expenses. This is another cash flow item, a negative cash flow. You can view and change the amounts of subcategory items that make up this variable living expense total. You can also drill down and change wage and other income subcategory items, the third and final cash flow category. And you can add more sources of income if other members of your household are employed. You've now completed your 80/20 worksheet. By doing so, you've measured your household's net worth, or wealth, and also your household's monthly cash flow, which is a measure of your financial independence. In this example, the household's net worth is $157,212. The household's fixed monthly cash flow is negative $1,998. It has an additional negative monthly cash flow of $2,713 from variable living expenses. So the household's total monthly cash flow, before considering wage and salary income, is negative $4,711. If the household could turn that negative $4,711 into a positive amount, then it wouldn't need the third cash flow category, salary income. That's the goal, to generate a positive cash flow from other sources beside your salary.